Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. Remember earlier this week when Kyle Shanahan said he wouldn't reveal if Christian McCaffrey was going to play publicly until kickoff? Well, he may have changed his mind. Here's Kyle Shanahan on KNBR yesterday.
He's been awesome these last 2 days, so hopefully that continues to go well, and expect to get him out there. And you never know for a setback or anything, but these 2 days have been great, and expect to see him out there.
Great. The reigning offensive player of the year is back. That is fantastic. But what does that mean in terms of the offense? Well, offensive line coach Chris Forster broke it down yesterday.
He practices so hard, and everything's right. I mean, that's the thing you see is that, like, all of a sudden he run his own play, and as well as Christian and Isaac have done, and the other guys, it's like all of a sudden it's just bam, bam, and he hits the hole right in time, perfect timing, perfect pacing of the play, catches some balls down the field and things like that, and then so it's nice. It's a process getting ready to play. So there'll be no decisions made until later in the week, obviously. But having him back out, being out there and practicing like you've asked is really, really cool for the whole team. It energizes everybody.
That's interesting because I don't think people think of timing that much when they think of the running game. But in Kyle Shanahan's scheme, I think it's very, very important not only knowing where the holes are going to open up, but when they're going to open up. Chris Forster's talked a lot about the patience you have to have as a running back in this scheme. Clearly, Christian McCaffrey has it. What about the rest of the injured guys, though? Well, the list is actually really long, especially considering they're coming out of the bye week. There are a couple new names on there, and they're both on the defensive side of the ball. Nick Bosa has a hip injury. He did practice a little, but then he went back inside to get treatment. And Malik Mustafa, unfortunately, his calf acted up halfway through practice. They had to shut him down. Kyle Shanahan said on KNBR yesterday, his status for the game is very much in doubt, pending further testing. Just look at all the names on this list. At least on the plus side, however, Renardo Green practiced in full after an ankle sprain, and D. Winters did as well following the concussion he suffered against the Cowboys. On the Buccaneers side of things, Baker Mayfield hasn't actually practiced all week. He's got a toe injury. Now, he did say earlier this week that he expects to play against the 49ers, but not practicing is not practicing. We'll have to see. In case you're wondering, Kyle Trask is the backup in Tampa Bay. Before I go, one more soundbite I wanted to play for you. This also comes from that Kyle Shanahan interview on KNBR. He talked about Christian McCaffrey's gravity and why having one elite player in one-on-one situations that cannot be guarded one-on-one by the defense is really the key to his entire scheme.
When you go into games and you have a player like that, you usually know if they do try to do that, it's usually going to be a very high completion percentage for your quarterback. But you're going in and knowing that they know that, so guys are going to usually play with leverage, and they're going to have help on the inside or the outside. When you know that and you put things together, you kind of have an idea of how the field's going to move, and you know where the other holes are going to be. So you knew the looks that the other guys were going to get, any of the other four eligibles. So you could kind of design stuff for space because you knew it was going to be more space than you saw on film. And whenever it wasn't like that, then you knew the guy was one-on-one with people he can't be one-on-one with. And I had that with Andre Johnson a little bit in Houston. But when you get those people, it's really helps the scheme out.
Just file that one away for later. As Christian McCaffrey gets older and this team has to transition into sort of the next wave, maybe the key is going to be whether Kyle and this scouting office can find that one guy, that one elite player that cannot be guarded one-on-one, because apparently that dictates everything for this offense. And finding that guy is easier said than done, but it sounds like it's job one for the 49ers. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Friday. Kyle Posey has a great article on NinersNation.com. One breakout player from each side of the ball in the second half of the season for the 49ers. If you want to read it, I'll put a link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch. Challenge accepted. The 49ers social media team did a fun thing yesterday. They asked players to write the word football in cursive. Now, if you're an old dude like me, you find this hilarious. Let's just say some of the younger guys kind of struggled to do it. If you want to watch it, I'll put the link in the description of this episode. One thing you may have missed. Earlier this week, I told you that 60% of the fans at Raymond James Stadium are going to be 49ers fans. That's not the only reason why this might feel like a home game for the Niners. Tampa Bay's going white, so San Francisco will be in the home red uniforms, despite the fact that they are halfway, all the way across the country, actually, I should say, away from Levi's Stadium. So Just a cool thing to keep in mind. I love uniform matchups. Thought you might want to know that. That is a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network where you get your audio pods. Like and subscribe to this YouTube page. Click the bell so you will get notified every single time we're live, which is every single weekday and after every single 49ers game. Enjoy your Friday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.